Hey you guys, Gilbert Cantu with Little Jade Bonsai here. I wanted to make a video on soil. There are all types of soil that you can use for Portulacaria or your little jades. Specifically, I'm going to show you the soil that I make for my trees. And you know, I've been using this mix for a while now. I've had really good success with it. It just depends on the type of climate and environment for what type of soil actually works best for your trees. You can kind of go more towards inorganic or organic. I'm going to show you the mix that I use. It's a very simple mix. You can make it yourself. So I'm just going to kind of get started and show you how I do it. So let's get going. Okay, so the first step is we need to gather our materials. We need a bag of landscaper's mix, TURFACE, 2 tall buckets, 2 wide buckets, and of course the soil sifter. So let's kind of take a look at the soil and break it down. So the basic ingredients for making bonsai soil for Portulacarias are TURFACE and a bag of landscaper's mix, which we will then sift out. So in the landscaper's mix, there is actually a nice blend of different types of pine bark, mulch. I think there's some perlite in there, but mostly it's all, well, it is all organic material. So this is a great additive for soil, which it will actually break down over time and provide the little jade's roots with nutrients. So yeah, but as you can see, this is super fine. There's big pieces, there's little pieces. So we will need to sift this out because we can't use this just like that. It will actually make the soil too soggy and could cause root rot. So we need to sift that out. As for the TURFACE, TURFACE is calcined clay. If you look at it, it's basically like a little fired pieces of clay. It's already really fine, so I don't need to sift this. It's kind of ready to go as it is. And this bag here, a TURFACE Athletics MVP, I bought it at a turf and irrigation place. So it's actually used for like baseball fields. It's pretty inexpensive. This whole big bag was only $11. So the landscaper's mix I got at my local nursery, and I think it was like $8 for this bag. So I can make a lot of soil out of this. So yeah, this is pretty much the 2 basic ingredients that I've had a lot of success with in growing my little jades. So let's get started in sifting. Okay, the most important thing you need when making soil is a soil sifter. This one I think I bought like, man, maybe 12 years ago. It's pretty old, maybe longer than that. But it came with 3 screens. I only use 2. This is an 1/8 inch size screen, and this is a 1/4 inch. So these are pretty much all you would need for making soil. I use this size because most of my trees are really small. I like the finer soil. When you do have fine draining soil, with a TURFACE, you will actually, the tree will, the roots will develop much finer roots. So step 1 is sift out all the large pieces. So I'm going to take my scooper here and take a couple of big scoops of landscaper's mix, and then kind of screen everything out. So I'm separating the large pieces from the fine pieces, and all the large stuff we're going to set aside. And this is what we want to keep. But this isn't it yet. We need to sift out the finer stuff. So I'm going to kind of set up my camera and see if I can get a bunch of this done. Okay, I actually just went through, no, not even half the bag of it. So this is all that's left of just what I'm sifting out. I'm not gonna do the whole bag. I'm only gonna do a little bit. So this is the fine stuff that got sifted out. This is what I'm keeping to sift. This is just the larger pieces of the pine bark mulch. So I don't know, I use this kind of out in the yard for different stuff, or sometimes I use this in the bottom of other pots of plants that I plant, kind of as an extra drainage source. But I'm not using this for my trees. I'm using this. So that was step one. Step two, now we need to use a small screen to sift out the superfines. Pretty dirty here. Okay, so I'm gonna switch out my 1/4 inch with my 1/8 inch screen. Now I am gonna take a couple of scoops. Now, I don't save the super fine stuff because it's just, to me, I think it's just too fine. So I actually just sift it out into the ground, to the grass. Let me add some nutrients to the lawn. So sifting this stuff out, all the little fine particles that you don't want in your soil. So then what you have left is the good stuff. So this is fine, but it's not too fine. And it's not too big. This is the good stuff that goes in the soil that I mix with the TURFACE. But this is the organic material that breaks down. So I need to sift all that out to here, and let's get started. I'm already getting tired. Okay, so after sifting half a bag of that landscaper's mix, I'm left with this. So this is really nice. It has some perlite in it. I don't really count that as an additive. I mean, I guess it is, but it's got this good size. There may be some super fine pieces, but it's a good size additive, organic additive to the TURFACE. So when you add these two together, you get my soil. Now, I really love TURFACE, and you can actually plant just in TURFACE. But again, TURFACE will if you plant in just pure TURFACE over time, like I'm saying, like maybe 5 years in a pot, it will break down. The TURFACE will break down and get kind of really muddy at the bottom. So it's good to use the organic material in there. And these are great when you blend them together. So let me kind of do that. So step 3 is we mix the TURFACE with the sifted organic material. So there is no specific measuring for this. I just eyeball it to where it kind of looks right, because the majority of it is going to be TURFACE. I just do it by hand. I'm sure there's more scientific ways of doing it, but I don't make a ton of soil because most of my trees are small. Add more. So it's mostly TURFACE with the sifted pine bark stuff. And the reason I love it so much is because it drains quick. The TURFACE will hold some moisture, but it drains quick. So in the summer, it's pretty hot down here in South Texas. I water every day, and from one day to the next, the soil almost dries out. But because it's so fine, you should see the roots. I'm actually going to pull up some roots here in a minute of a tree that's planted in this, just so you can kind of see. But this is like really, really good basic soil that you can make. Granted, you have the materials with you. But you know, at the same time, you just kind of have to look and see what's available to you. I love lava. I wish I had better access to lava rock, fine lava rock, but I don't. So this is what I use. I used to use expanded shale in with my soil. I can't find it anymore locally, so I'm pretty much just TURFACE and sifted pine bark. It's a good mix. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off and get back with the final bucket. Okay, so I'm kind of stopping here for now, but with about 2/3 of the TURFACE bag and about half of the landscaper's mix bag, I was able to make almost, let's see, this is a 5-gallon bucket, so I don't know, maybe about 8 gallons of soil. So yeah, it was pretty good. And it's gonna take me, I mean, unless it's springtime and I'm doing a massive repot and a bunch of trees, it'll take me a while to kind of go through this. So yeah, it's a good mix. It's what I use on all my trees, and as you can see, they're all pretty happy and healthy. I haven't watered them in a few days. It's been pretty hot here lately, even though we're at the end of November, but you can kind of see it's kind of what I use. My trees are thriving, so they're happy. The soil drains fast. It drains quick. It's actually great for indoors and outdoors. I have a tree indoors now that's planted in this, and it's pretty happy. So, you know, again, use what materials work for you. I would suggest more inorganic, so more rocky, more let's say pumice, TURFACE, lava rock, If your soil consists mostly of inorganic material, you will probably do really good with as a Portulacaria afra mix. So yeah, that's what works for me. Well, that's pretty much it. If I were to use both bags of that soil to make my bonsai soil, I would probably spend about maybe an hour and a half out here, 2 hours. It's pretty hot, I'm pretty sweaty, so I'm stopping there. But yeah, hope you liked the video. Again, see what materials are available to you, and soil sifter really helps. That's kind of a key tool for making soil. So hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment, let me know if you have any questions, and be sure to subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time. Thank you guys.